XSplit can't handle this one scene. It's like loading. I am the load. Can't handle the four faces of the Ontario crew. Come on. Black screen, and there we go. Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Grimstone Chronicles Season 2, Episode 9. I am your DM and host tonight, Marty, joined by the full Ontario crew. How is everyone doing? And let me unmute your mics and get you all nice and toasty-eared.
Nice.
It was so cool. I just went and I have to prep the game. And then I went and I sat on the couch and I pulled out a laptop and I diddled with the character for a couple hours and I did my game prep.
You picked some spells and you did some stuff and okay.
And then I made and then I looked at the dwarf that's going to be eventually introduced. I'm like, if I'm not at the table, someone's head is going to melt trying to run this stupid character. So I made some combat tables for him just so that it's
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I kind of looked at the bottom where if I've got everything going, this is what I'm gonna do, and it's how do you get there?
You do the thing to be the thing. So yeah.
Almond, can you do me a favor, given that you're not talking? Just check the stream for the volumes. Make sure that we're all kind of the same. If that's all right. While we continue. Yep. Cool.
I'm logging in.
So how is everyone doing? Adam, go.
Work is work, and it makes you feel old. My diet is going well. My lifting of weights is going good. My log is being made right now. Everything is kind of well-oiled machine-like in its well-oiled machininess right now. There's a good rhythm.
Cool. Mark?
Well, I just finished a 4-day run, so I'm good for another 4 days. So
you're off for another 4 days?
Yeah, this is my Well, actually, this is really my Saturday. So
nice.
Next week. So it's officially Chinese New Year today. So Xinyan Kuaila for everyone. It's the start of it. But that means that next week I'm taking a couple of days off work, and then there's Family Day. So hey.
Is there a day off next week?
Yes, there is.
You guys get a day off. I get a day off, I think, for President's Day on the 15th, which is...
That's the day.
That's the day? Okay, all right. It's called Family Day in the...
Family Day in Ontario. Ahmed's in Quebec. I don't know what Quebec is.
I'll check. No, I work in Ontario, but... Yeah.
You're
Ontario.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go, you get. What do you get? I get. Yeah.
Okay.
You got it? You got it? You got it?
You get it?
I get it? I get it. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Ahmed, what's up with you, Ed?
The kids are driving me crazy. I'm fine. What are you guys? I haven't slept. I'm good. Good, yeah.
I always love when Ahmed doesn't sleep before game. It's
gonna be a great game. Shit's gonna go sideways.
Your characters get to make no decisions.
What you do to make things extra hilarious is you give him the quest and let him be the lens.
Insanity.
I'm good. Work has been busy, but I'm.
The quest was baguettes and beans, and they come back with a wizard and
surrounded in a burning building.
Nice.
Again.
For me, work's work. Apartment's being half packed because half of my stuff is going one place and half it's maybe staying or going to another. It's a really weird state to be in. What else? Started rewatching The Expanse because now I know the season 5 of Expanse, Please Don't Tell Me Anything, is done. So I've started from the beginning and I'm going to watch it all the way through, and it's that good.
What service has
I got Disney Plus.
I want to say Netflix, but I think it's Amazon. I think it's Prime.
It's not on them. It's not on Netflix. Well, not in Canada, anyways.
Yeah.
If it's on Prime, then I might get down on that.
It's like near future space politics. Like we haven't escaped the solar system yet.
As I understand it, it's like the Martians versus the human, or the Earthlings versus, I think, like the Jupiter people.
They call them the Belters. They live in the
Moons of Jupiter. Or am I wrong?
everything beyond Mars, basically.
Okay. It sounds interesting to me, and yeah, if it's good, I will watch. If it's not good, I will watch one and then go, I don't like it, and move on with my time.
Yeah.
Oh, Nier Automata is a goddamn amazing game. If you like Dark Souls type games, or you like Devil May Cry style games, it's got like Devil May Cry style combat with sort of Dark Souls mechanics in a robot sort of androidy future. Lots of robots, you cut them up, things explode. The fights are cool. It's got shmup sections. It's pretty fun.
Cool.
It's making me happy.
Cool, and I did a bunch of DM prep on Sunday. It feels good. I think I've got enough for today and Saturday. Plus, we did Titan's Gift, the kind of the end of the chapter game, the downtime game, which for a downtime game went really well. Like, it was paced really well. I had them highlight, just kind of like I do with you guys, highlight the things that are kind of more role-playing scene-worthy stuff, and the rest of it was just like, sell your stuff, do a bunch of crafting. We don't need to spend screen time doing it, and it went well. They only took them 2 weeks to prepare the downtime, but it went it went well.
When you players, and every time they level, it's like, I have a new scope of treasure that is available to me.
Yep.
2 weeks ain't too bad. There's a lot of bucks.
Yep. Okay, I wanted to say, let's do a recap of what happened last time, but we're actually taking a gigantic step back, as we're going to concentrate on the group of characters that we are kind of calling the Northern Expedition, as opposed to the Southern Warband. The Northern Expedition, of course, is Sunny, Cog, Slake, Amadeus, Agony, the reincarnated Mistra, and Mark actually has a character with a cohort that will be introduced very shortly, and I'm sure you'll recognize them. So where we left off, if we go back to the end of the winter, the beginning of the spring season, this is following the great fight at the Steelrose Mill, and then by the long winter, where there were many funerals, where there was a lot of cleanup at the Steelrose Mill, which was, in fact, the battlegrounds of a great conflict that shook the entirety of the Southwall district. There remains but half, or even under half, the original number of the Steelrose gang, as the ones that were counted in the Imperial census that happened several months ago were drafted or ordered in various fashions into the Imperial Armed Forces. Those that left behind managed to spend their winter in the Southwall district, specifically mostly in the warehouse of the Steelrose Mill, because that was the structure that was least damaged from earthquake and from earthquake spell and from the fighting. That's not to say you haven't done a bit of cleanup and found your goods and made your way back into the mill proper. The bodies have been carted away, things have been cleaned up, and the uneasy peace is settled over the Southwall district, enforced by martial law. Now, one of the things that you have noticed is that over time, shops have begun to disappear, specifically the magic shops, including Granimir's shop, which is now closed, and all of his magical goods and wealth seem to have been carted off, along with half of your number who you saw off from afar during an impromptu parade for those that were marching off to Junction Town and then to places unknown to face the enemies of the Imperium. We begin the Northern Expedition group's story, or continue their story, with a scene in the Steelrose Mill. Marching like a guard, perhaps via nerves or just because he's spent a season without any action, is Slake. You can hear him just quietly clumping back and forth between the opening, an opening that wasn't really repaired, the opening where the giant construct had been driven through your warehouse. There's a wisp of snow and a little bit of snowy piles that have crusted around the door. You have a couple of fires going deep within the warehouse. It's large enough that the smoke collects up in the old beams and doesn't choke. This is a drafty place, but a lot of your belongings have been moved down here, including Cog's lab and other of your personal effects, just because it's the most accessible, and you've kind of made this your temporary bunker. Amadeus was doing pull-ups at one of the pallets as he often does, but he's just sort of hanging there as Cog and Sunny, with under the watchful eye of Agony, are overlooking a particular manual. This was actually it's several books, as well as a map. So the book at the center of all of this was Langdedrossa Cyanrath's coded journal that you had captured in the underground lair filled with kobolds and those little dragons, and after you had followed the bandits and kobolds that attacked the Sylvan Acres. You had descended beneath the streets of the Southwall district and found like a huge group of kobolds that had been gathering treasure. Also with these notes are the notes that Nighthorn had provided you, which include the way to decipher what the coded messages mean. And we already had, if you recall, but this was a long time ago, I actually had to go back and rewatch the scene to make sure I'm not giving too much away. Nighthorn had already shown you that this ledger suggested that kobolds under the leadership of LC, which was, you think, is Langdedrossa Cyanrath, a man named R, and maybe a couple of other leaders, only known by like single letters, had been gathering up treasure for some purpose and carting it north. They had been doing this for several years, but had kicked up their efforts over the last 6 months to a dizzying amount, and the final treasure load, I guess, that you guys came across, or that you know of, was the kobolds looting during the time of great conflict the Sylvan Acres. The ledger shows over 200,000 gold pieces of non-magical treasure that has been moved north via this route. This, given the level of organization, you start to wonder if there are other routes. And that does not include the hastily identified or even described magic items, which could easily quintuple the value of goods that have been moved. You know that LC has ordered his underlings to put aside 2 types of items that he personally identifies: anything that is a mask and anything that is an orb. Also, you know the route, at least that it's decoded in here, that it goes from Foundry along the Ironmein train line to a city called Denovar, and then it's transported inland to the castle, And there was one slip in the book where they called it the Castle in the Swamp. Spots along the route include BR and DF. The symbol that identifies people's allegiance to this plot is the draconic symbol for greed. And you can't help but notice, Sunny, and even well, I guess the rest of you, that the draconic symbol for greed sort of looks like a coiled snake around something. Like a really guarded snake sort of rearing up around something that it's guarding. Like, you know that LC knows about the regalia of the diplomat, and is it Cog or is it which one of your characters has that piece?
The diplomat? Oh no, Desaad has two of them.
Desaad has two of them. Yeah, there was one that I think was lying on his bed, and he knew about these things, and they had set it aside for him. Perhaps that was his share of the treasure or whatever. But that is now off with Kev in Wars Unknown.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
There may be other minor things that can be gleaned from the journal, but this was the extent of which that Nighthorn was able to decipher for all of you. And while Dugan Schmurf wanted to wander off with the journal and all the notes for the treasure, I'm pretty sure the greedy the dragon that needs to go down the path of greed, as well as Amadeus and others, wouldn't let them take it off to war with them, which is the reason why you've got this here. However, there is a note left behind in the notes from Dugan Schmurf. Mark, what would Dugan Schmurf would have told the party who is going to go after a pile of treasure?
Motherfucker.
You still owe me a share. Every last one of you owes me. Don't forget it. I'll be coming back. You can count on it.
Oh, Dugan says he'll be coming back.
All right. Sunny, you're the one that really wanted to see a map of the world. And we'll say that even though that there's been, martial law, and some of the shops have been closing, some of them have actually been leaving with the army, that over the winter you guys were able to procure a map. How much money do you want to spend on said map?
Since my knowledge of geography is really bad, I would like to spend a lot.
A wise decision.
Okay.
We won't call it spending. We'll call it investing.
I will invest 1,000 gold pieces into getting a good quality map.
Nice. Okay. It takes some time, but you do end up with a map, and I'm going to go to the Volcanica world map for a moment.
I'm going to put on my gear carried a 1,000 gold piece map. Not Volcanica.
All right. So the map has the following dots on it. We're going to say that it concentrates on the Duchy of Foundry, as well as the Protectorate of Elseer Vale. There may be other dots, but these are the dots that are
Foundry and Elseer Vale, and it's spelled obviously incorrect, but that's fine. It's phonetic.
That's fine. So you know that. Well, this is you in Foundry. Some of you have been on a train north, yes? No. This party hasn't been on a train.
We robbed a train. They came from the north.
So technically have been on a train.
So you can follow the train tracks going north from Foundry. They go around Never Bay Inlet and go through a place called Hackbridge, and then they end up near or close enough to a city called Denovar. And that's the Ironmein rail. The Ironmein Company, which is an Imperial-owned quasi-military, quasi-commercial train.
So we should be looking for maybe a BR or DF, or although those might be people. You're the dragon. Following the path of greed. Where would you go?
Agony,
Like you can smell the gold.
Agony shakes his head, and the way he's looking at the map, he's learning things too. All of my days have been spent in this city. Aside from our short trips outside. Agony shrugs.
Dee Dee, where are you?
You notice that
100th time she's not here anymore.
Mistro was like doing the thing, like filling the gizzard with stones, like pecking at the ground. When you said Dee Dee, she kind of looked up at you and was looking around, and then just went back to pecking at the stones.
Oh, I forgot. She knew this sort of thing. So, if we were looking for... is the leader of the operation. Well, we need to go to Denovar. This is what we know for sure. That's Denovar. See? It says Denovar right there. Assuming that there's not a Duchy of Denovar, or a Dale of Denovar, or another Denovar, province of Denovar. It's probably that way.
Do any of you have knowledge geography?
I'm very smart and I'm old. And I bought a nice map.
Yeah. You're like, that says Denovar.
Denovar.
That would be linguistics.
No.
So Cog doesn't have geography?
No.
Our bards and our bushmen.
Okay.
Cog,
Cog, give me an int check.
Yeah.
Slake doesn't have knowledge geography, I don't think.
Maybe I died there. Alright, int check it is.
I'm checking our gear to see if we have a hidden circlet with circle of int that we might be able to put on for,
22. 19.
The name Elsir Vale seems familiar to you, although you're not sure why.
I recognize this name. For the life of me, I can't remember. Maybe I died defending it or something. But might remember a few things if I head up there. My votes go that way.
Okay. So we've got two characters that have spotty memories. That's Slake and Cog, because they are now constructs. Perhaps not by choice. We've got Agony, who's a city dragonborn.
And an old man who turned up in a field a click from here.
An old man that sprouted in a field that we suspect is not from round here, yeah. And then we've got...
When are the Fae returning again?
in like 10 years.
That's not too long.
What? They're not going to be back in time to help us with this.
Then maybe we need a scholar to help us with our riddle.
All right.
A potentially morally... one who is looking at Agony, he's looking at Slake, he's looking...
Perhaps Sunny is a diviner of sorts, because in hindsight, the man who showed up was exactly that.
He got to the point of morally, and then he was looking around, and then he was like, the word disposable was coming to mind, and then he didn't want to voice that out loud. That felt wrong.
Barnabas, you pull your hat hard down upon your head as winter, for some reason, doesn't want to give up its grasp on the city. It really shouldn't be this cold late in the season. Bandages around, what is it, your left hand where you cut off your finger?
I think. Hang on, I can double check here. I'm on the character sheet. I think it was the right. It is the right hand. Yeah.
Okay, so bandages on your right hand, kind of coming loose a little bit as you're pulling your hat hard on your head, so you won't lose it in the gusts of wind, and then you spend a moment kind of tying the bandage back up. The curious tiefling kind of just standing beside you and then looking down the snow-crusted road. You are headed towards where you know that there is a group of killers. Yep, pretty much killers. You've heard the rumors over the winter. That group that you got to bend metal for you and that had no problem playing with abyssal steel, like didn't even bat an eye.
Can we have some?
Killed several.
Ask for some, in fact.
Killed several hundred people outside their home when they were attacked by gangs. Not one gang, gangs. Apparently they also destroyed an entire city of vampires beneath the city and don't fear the syndicate. These are some of the rumors that you've heard when you were starting to think, who am I going to get to protect me? Yeah, I got this tiefling, but who am I really going to get to protect me? Of course, there is a letter in your hands where you believe that you will have no problem paying for such protection. And let's just revisit the letter. The letter that you received not too long ago was entitled to Mr. Darby and his brave fellows. Of course, the person who sent it may not have realized that most of your friends would have either flew off into the sunset, got sucked into planar portals, or, went off to play war in the south. To Mr. Darby and his brave fellows, news of your bravery in the face of the abyssal scourge beneath the Founders College has come to our attention, along with a recommendation by both Professor Luddock Finesmith and Headmaster Melinius Bleak. I write to you with the offer of gainful employment and perhaps future patronage. We are looking for the right sort of scholar with an adventuring spirit to unravel an ancient mystery, to find what was lost and share in the wonders and treasure of their rediscovery. As you are well aware, Volcanica is a dangerous place, but we are confident that you and your brave fellows are more than up to the tasks that lay ahead. This spring, I may be found in Prospectors' Guild in Brindle, Elsir Vale. We should talk terms and details upon your arrival. Platinum shines. Guildmaster Clegor de Verac of the League of Guilds. This marks him as a dwarf, and you know that some of the guild leaders of the League of Guilds are as rich as kings of old, if not more. P.S. Please enjoy this relic of old. More of ancient Elsir Vale's treasures await, and wrapped within was an eternal wand of heroic finale, which once per day you can cast heroic finale with the wand. This takes a single action up to a standard. You move up to your speed or take a standard action. He also used a very curious little star beside his name, which you had recognized as a secret note or indication that he is somehow affiliated with the esoteric and quasi-secretive group called the Philomath Mystics. This piqued your attention because the Philomath Mystics are the types that dig into the truth behind the truth, dig into things about the scholarly nature of planes, about the gods. Some of them might even have wandered into the territory what might be anathema to that of the Imperium, but others just simply seek to unravel the mysteries of the multiverse.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm down with that.
All right, so Barnabas, with a bit of purpose in his step, is like, I need an adventuring group.
Okay, before he goes to talk to them,
okay,
he wants to. How much does he know about this group?
So you did some asking around, and you knew their reputation. So, like, you knew that they can
I
handle
was thinking
themselves.
knowledge local, given that their name.
Yeah. Give me a knowledge local.
Okay. I think today I will take 20 on this particular roll,
Okay.
and that will give me a whopping.
I believe that's called hammer time. You just
Yeah. I gotta get good on this, and I will take, just for argument, this for fun, and I'll also use one of my inspiration points. So +4 to my 51 is a 55.
Okay. Are you asking about the group, or are you asking about an individual?
The group. Or as in, like, what's left of them, their enemies,
All right.
their allies.
All right. So you know. So I'm going to give you their by their reputation, they have risen high and fast amongst the gangs of Southwall District, and their gang numbers are surprisingly low compared to the others. You know that these are a bunch of effectively name level individuals that just kick the crap out of the stupid gangs. I already told you about the big fight and the what else? They have Fae with their number. You also know that some of the Fae were called off to war, like similar to your folks. Like, yeah, you know that there is only a small group of them left. The 50 what?
55.
The ones that are left, you realize, are the ones that wouldn't have wanted been counted. There are two there are two constructs that you suspect are involved in something. Like there's whispers that they're escaped wizard experiments. There's the Hunchback of Southwall.
No.
A guy who grew from the earth, and
that's sketchy, yeah.
and a dragon man. So you know their numbers that remain. The rest you think have either died in the recent fighting or have gone off like some of your companions called south. So the ones that are left are probably lenient to or amicable towards things that are not necessarily lawful.
Fine. Okay, that'll work.
They might be motivated not by service to the Imperium.
Yep, that works here.
And then pick one character that you know one additional fact about.
You know what? Let's go with... No, Sunny would be cheating. I am going to go with... Let's go with... No, let's go with Cog.
You know that Cog's life force is in a crystal hidden somewhere in his body.
Okay.
There were rumors and witnesses, apparently, to the destruction of a similar creature. Some other elven construct. We're really talking about Taylor here, but
yeah.
Her blowing up a bunch of times, people began to know, like, oh, it's the crystal inside the body. You've encountered these crystals before.
They're very fragile. Yep. Okay.
As in, very interesting. So they could store souls, and they could also be used to power constructs. Like that's something where you're like, okay, there's a crystal here. I know what kind of crystal it is. All right. I assume you're just approaching them, or are you going to go for a visit, or?
I think I'm assuming with the 55. I know they work for Nighthorn.
You know that they have associations with the Sylvan Acres, most likely through the 3 Fae counted in their number.
Okay. Just to be safe, he would have a conversation with Nighthorn before suggesting they leave the city.
Okay, so you go to Sylvan Acres to chat with Nighthorn. Sure. Let me just grab Nighthorn's token. He's somewhere. Where is he? Where's the dirty satyr?
Naughty satyr.
I'm just going to go to the warehouse map. All right, you go to Nighthorn's office. You sort of have to pass by the warehouse and the Steelrose mill. You end up having to talk your way through a couple of guards that.
He does have a token that gets him to see.
Okay. A token that gets him to see what?
He's got a token. It's on his character sheet. Sylvan Leaf of Peace. It's a pass to Nighthorn.
Oh, okay. That'll work in the Sylvan Acres. The guards that are everywhere throughout the Southwell district do stop, look at your papers. They give you like the requisite amount of hassle before just letting you go on your way.
Okay.
It's starting to get a bit stifling here in Southwell, anyways. You do get to see Nighthorn. There is some fairies giving coffee to a new ogre. Something happened to Burr. And you
imagine what.
And you could hear something humming and singing while it's digging in a big pile of snow.
Okay, we'll just do a quick C&D.
It actually was just crawling around in snow, and you could see it turned a snowbank into like this weird like a den with many entrances and exits. It's a little silver dragon. Hi.
Oh, hello.
It bares its teeth at Aemon. Aemon looks at it, looks at you.
Oh, you see, it's fine. He's not gonna hurt nobody, is he?
We don't like your kind here.
That's not very friendly, now, is it?
Yes, but he might be here to do bad things.
No, look, we got a Sylvan Leaf of Peace.
Where's yours?
I don't have one.
He wasn't around to pick his up, that's all.
I've got my eyes on you, devil man.
Have you seen Nighthorn about?
Yes?
Would you care to tell me where to find him?
The Castellan's business is his own. He's inherited the castle.
Well, that may well be. But what I have to speak with him about is his business.
Oh, is it something important that you're flashing that around?
Yeah, it is.
Right, the little dragon thing kind of bumbles out of his little snowbank fortress and goes up to the door. It kind of just trots up to the door. The ogre looks at it, looks at you. He pulls his hand out.
Show him the pass, I
Okay,
guess.
yeah, he looks at the pass and then he just thuds at the door. A bit of half melting snow sloughs off the roof when he pounds the door. Eventually, you're allowed in. Dwaki goes scrambling ahead of you.
Must be nice having a little dragon servant.
Is that what that is? Do you want me to wait
Yeah.
outside?
Oh, you can come with me. I ain't been told otherwise.
Okay, Nighthorn, you can see is at his very high perched desk. You can hear Faye, the telltale signs of Faye fluttering around. Doaki shakes off a bunch of the snow. Some of it sprays on you, and he goes scrambling up beside Nighthorn and sits on his desk and is just watching. Nighthorn looks up. Ah, Barnabus. Wasn't expecting you. He seems to finish some paperwork, and he actually hands an envelope up into the air. Something grabs it, and the envelope disappears. And who's your friend?
Oh, this is my man, Aemon.
Aemon slowly nods. What does Aemon fight with? Like, what kind of weapon does he have?
A trident.
Okay, it's on him. Yeah, I guess he's got his shield out, but his trident is on his back. He just nods to Mulberry.
I heard you had a bit of trouble just before the riots there.
Yes, he says. That trouble is over now. New troubles, however.
You made it out. New trouble? What is that?
These things are but sprouts. It's the one that we don't tend that turns into a vine.
Yeah, I just say tear up the whole fucking lawn sometimes. Anyway.
Of course you would. You're human.
I am. Anyway, I'll leave you to your garden. I just thought I'd let you know I'm here to do you a favor.
You're doing me a favor?
Yeah, well, I'd like to.
And what might that be?
Steelrose Watch. At least what's left of them.
Ah. Yes.
I'd like to take them off your hands.
Take them off my hands.
Yeah.
He
must know they're going to be a whack of trouble for you.
He thinks about it for a moment and scritches the end of his well manicured beard. True, the Fae that were with them have been sent south to the marshalling grounds at Junction Town.
Yeah, so you don't have your liaison anymore.
No.
Now there's that, and you don't honestly think the Syndicate's down with what's left of them, do you?
I fully didn't expect them to come around very much, given that their trainer has perished.
Oh, I miss Delphin.
You notice that Nighthorn actually pets the dragon's head.
Condolences.
Do you have any idea what they're up to, and what they plan on doing?
Well, given that they're a bunch of fucking freaks, I imagine they're staying out of sight.
His eyes kind of go from you to your tiefling when you mention a bunch of freaks. And I suppose the freaks that you traveled with are all gone?
Sadly, yes, the draft took them away, at least most of them.
Which ones, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it was Chaga, my good friend. Great cook, otherwise you'd have muffins.
Too bad. I hope.
Yeah, more.
I hope the Imperial Legion finds a good use for him.
Oh, I'm sure they will. You'll get through it.
Mort.
There's a lot of time for. Yeah, Mort.
Ah, yes. Leave it to the Imperium to do to do scorched earth. They brought many of their magical crafters with them. Fortunately, this is actually a benefit to Sylvan Acres.
Yeah, I suppose it would be, wouldn't it, for you?
Dee Dee might actually get her wish. A Fey market in Southwall would solve many problems.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing what you got once you got it up and running.
It'll take some time. Of course, there'll be competition. Again, but mere weeds. Yes, I'm surprised that the group that remains behind at the Steelrose Mill hasn't already been arrested.
As am I. That's what I would do if I was the syndicate. How much they lost on them fucking constructs. What a fucking waste.
It won't take long. The Syndicate's memory is long. There will be
Their pockets deep.
There will be reprisals. I don't know what they are, if you're trying to ask. I try to stay out of the Syndicate's way.
Yes, well, doesn't take genius to figure out who's been bankrolling them for a while. At least protecting him.
So you're basically asking me if it is all right for you to take the remainder of the Steelrose Watch.
I don't reach into another man's wine cellar without asking.
For what purpose do you need such slayers?
I've got business up north.
He glances again to the tiefling. Again, you can tell by the glance he's assuming it has something to do with the dude. The impressive dude with armor and styles that are not from round here. He's like puzzling over Aemon, and you realize that might be to your advantage.
Yeah.
Fine.
So I was hoping for a letter of introduction, perhaps. Something to smooth the waters.
How long will you need them?
I'll be yet to meet with my employer. However, they're rich as fuck, so hopefully a while.
Interesting.
My guess is he'll get as bored as I am around here. There's no place to fucking shop. But still, you open your market,
Fine. I will let them go without strings attached. At least to them. You'll owe me a favor.
a small favor.
I'm sure the favor will be small once you ingratiate yourselves to that band of slayers. I don't know which weed is going to grow into a vine yet. I'm sure the type of work that I'll have from them in the future will be the right kind of work for them. Gardening.
Well, don't make it fucking subtle. I fucking saw what they did on that night.
Yes. Show them the token. They should recognize it. They have done work for me before.
Alright. Glad we could come to an accord. Stands up and offers a hand.
Yeah. Nighthorn comes down from his desk because it's actually, like, ridiculously high, so he comes down and gives you a shake. It wouldn't happen.
Well.
You wouldn't... He pauses for a moment. Who might your new employers be?
Well, they ain't my employees yet, so I think I'll just keep that to myself for now. Sure, you'll find out, though, if you really wish to know.
Careful. That lot tends to take great offense. And when they do, many feathers are ruffled.
Noted.
If your employer is not to their liking, you may not have an employer.
Oh, I'm not too worried about that, to be honest.
You realize he's hinting at, like, if they don't... Yeah.
Yeah, they will kill what they do not like.
Yes.
They are a hammer, and there are many problems that look like nails. Don't be a nail.
Oh, do keep an eye on the old man for me.
The old man. You mean the
Sunny.
Why is that? In a particularly fragile state of health?
No. There's something about him that has many intelligent and important people curious.
Well, now there is one more.
And those constructs are in the middle of some very nasty business. I don't think they know. But it soon may become yours.
Well, we'll deal with it when it comes up.
I would have expected much more from Cog, but it's no wonder Slake is so angry. He can't walk from one side of the room to the other without getting pissed off.
Yeah, all right.
Cut to Cog chasing a bird through the fucking shit. Like, shut up, will you?
But if a hammer is what you need, then that is the best hammer there is.
Let's see if we can't wield him into something a little bit more finesse.
Maybe
And
that's
if not, fuck it, knock the wall down.
maybe that's what they need. Some direction.
Well, you take care of yourself.
Always do.
Best of luck with your garden.
Nuts?
Barnabas tips his hat. Come, Aemon.
Okay, there's a happy little flap of the tail from Dowaki, and then there's like a bared teeth towards Aemon as he's leaving. He bares his teeth back, but then nods to Mulberry. Your little bird had stuck its head out of your out of your hand, took a little look around, and then.
I wanted to check with you about something. I, for my 9th level familiar, for the familiar feat, I want to ask if it's all right with you. I took extra traits. Like character traits.
Yeah.
One of them is Fools for Friends, which Aemon has, which basically increases the bonus for aid another from +2 to +3.
Sure.
And I took Helpful, which gives you a +1 trait bonus to aid another.
Are they both trait bonuses?
No, one is a trait bonus, one increases the bonus. That's the wording.
Sure.
Confidence bonus.
Sure. Your bird has to be out to help.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Like if it's like our knowledge or something like that, sure, it could be just like talking to you inside your thing. But if it's actually going to help in
That's
combat,
basically all it's for. But it is
Yep.
a significant bonus. That's why I wanted to run it by you.
Yep, sure. But this
So that would have been 59.
this whole collection of campaigns is have fun abusing the system. It just
I will abuse it.
and
till it
it's to the
dies.
point where when we go back to the Legends campaign, I'm going to say, guys, your time in the tank, switch out the feats you don't like, take the spells you want, and just sort of like optimize a little bit. Yeah, just sort of optimize a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, you think you're big and bad with your 35 AC? No,
you're not.
You got a problem.
The 10th level non-mythic character's got 40. Figure it out.
Well, yeah, with your feats and powers, yes. For your gear, that's like maybe the first 5 games is we go knock over a bunch of dragon hordes to get our gear.
You send them a note, a carrier pigeon that says, "Leave your treasure outside." And nobody gets hurt.
Right. But
We want 75%.
that is neither here nor there. All right, so
I just had to clear that up before we went any farther. So.
yeah, that's fine. Barnabas has a polite meeting with Mulberry. He seems to appreciate you coming to him. Yeah, he'll suck a favor out of you if that's.
Oh, you want to borrow my crew, do you? Yes,
Yeah.
my crew will cost you a favor.
Yep.
I thought I was thinking as a familiar.
Nice. All right, so you're back out in the last snowstorm of the season, and you're adjusting your hat and fiddling with your bandage. Your bird's peeking out because it could sense that you're probably a little bit nervous approaching these people.
Yeah, a little bit.
Your bird's like peeking out like different places.
Backup. Now he's got like the Tin Man behind him, and that's it.
All right, you see this street. It has been swept. You know that all the bodies were piled out here. And you can see like little jars with flowers and offerings from like people around the neighborhood. Like there's definitely a shrine, an impromptu shrine out here. This stray cat goes whining into an alley, and you can see staring at you with sort of like he didn't care to wipe it off, sort of like a frosty glint along one side of his face, and his shield is a construct. This is the metal bender Slake. He's just looking at you.
Oh,
You didn't see him right away because he wasn't moving, but
excuse me.
he's still staring at you.
Yeah, I just talked to Maltbear, and he said I should talk to you lot.
The fuck do you want?
Well, I'm looking for a group of fucking marauders, and I hear you're the sort who like money. Am I mistaken, or I can go somewhere else?
Cog! He turns his back to you like he's not afraid of you. And
He shouldn't.
And you can see this giant yellow smiley face painted on the back of his armor. It's a little there's scratches in the smiley face as it looks like it's seen some combat, but Cog!
Ah, what is it, Slake?
Get over here, you got a visitor.
Oh? Right.
Mister comes out, and this giant yellow bird sticks her head out around the corner. Your bird here's another bird, and Mister is. You could sense that Mister is
Interesting.
curious.
Oh,
Yep.
if only we had a morally flexible geographer.
Oh, I know some geography.
Interesting. What can we do for you, sir?
I'm looking for a group of adventurers, as mine seem to have been drafted. And I know geography.
Drafted. Adventurers. Oh, that's interesting. What is your name?
Forgive me, I am Professor Barnabas Darby.
Got a professor here.
He's
Scholar of Southwall.
He's the fancy guy that came here with those other guys, and we made some weapons for them. He also bought the hippo sniff off of
Capra.
So you're a regular customer.
yeah.
Why don't you come on in then?
Yeah,
Did you
sure.
sell a
Or the
hippo
designated representative. No, the little blue one's fucked off.
Yeah, it was a hippo ship.
Yeah, well, it's not been tasty enough with the right seasoning, unfortunately.
The big bird comes right up to you. Aemon takes like a hostile step forward, but it comes like scurrying up to you.
Oh, no need.
It's like looking around for where the bird is
Mr.
in your clothing.
Mistra's quite
Kind of shakes his sleeve, so
tamed.
Paul comes flying
Okay.
out and lands on his shoulder.
Yeah, at this point, Polly sees reincarnated Mister and goes flapping into the room, and then Mister goes flying after Polly, or Mister goes scurrying after Polly. And
really good jump check.
Yep.
Real good jump check.
They're talking, because I think Polly is smart enough to talk to all birds, right?
Polly is not.
No?
She only has the powers of a second level familiar.
Oh, okay. Well, it's one bird to another, so...
They're having bird talk.
Yep.
They're having bird time. And every once in a while, one of the questions is, are you food? You fit in my mouth. You might be food.
And then Polly's like, food? Crackers?
All right, but Polly can speak common.
Common. She
Okay.
speaks common.
All right, so...
Still has an index, so smarter
The
than
Mistral will react to common. Like, she understands common.
Yep.
She just can't speak it.
All right, so are you inviting these two folks in, Cog? Or are you going to have them stand in the final blizzard of the year?
Yeah. We'll come into the main area here.
Okay.
Agony and Sunny.
I heard
like,
geographer. He said he's a geographer.
Somebody looks like, well, he's a professor of what exactly, I'm not sure, but, well,
I'm the professor of things arcane, but my breadth of knowledge is quite expensive. He's looking down at the map, my eye.
Somebody's gonna wave you over to like our nook behind the pallets because it's cold and breezy out here.
Agony whispers to Sunny, I think these are the assholes that live in that tower.
Morally flexible.
Maybe we should just tie him up and take what's in this fucking tower.
so how many of your men were drafted?
Too many, unfortunately. So what are you trying to get to? Because we are here.
Somebody's waving over. He doesn't want time. Like,
Right.
he doesn't care about your shiny Nightman. He wants to go around and come on. Waving you over.
Okay, Agony goes over and quickly, for some reason, Barnabas closes another book and puts it off to the side. Like he didn't want you to see that book.
Okay.
But unfortunately, he's left a page out that may be interesting. Give me a perception check, as Sunny's trying to point at a map, but there might be something that's left out.
That's not a trap, so 28.
It is a translation of code into words. While it's not all of, like, it doesn't mean anything, the collection of words are very interesting. Treasure, magic items, train, greed, some leader names, like some translation of how to do like code into numbers, and the numbers get very big, like they go from 1 to 100,000.
Okay. He will make a note of that and bring it up later. We'll start with the map.
Okay. Yeah, it's a rather great map of this region and the region to the north, called Elseer Vale. You shudder at the thought that, you know, the center of Elseer Vale is Fortress Top, the town of elves that has been taken over by doppelganger.
You're going where? No, I'm sorry. I'll find another clue.
So we are here, yes?
Yes, this is our current location.
And this is the Ironmein train line. He's supposed to be going like sort of east, west, south-east, kind of. He's pointing at a line that's on the map.
Yeah, so far you're all correct. Where are you trying to get to?
If I knew where I was trying to go, I wouldn't need a geographer.
What direction would you care to head in?
This is Denovar, yes?
Yeah. Before we get to all that, why the fuck are you here?
Oh, right. My mistake.
Yes, question. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So-
I have.
So he's like, if I want the information first, don't squish him. He's looking like, oh.
You know, you can see Slake flexing and unflexing his hands.
He's already seen too much, so he can't leave.
Come on, mate. You don't treat a guest like that.
Denovar, right?
Yeah, Denovar's there. You can take the train this far. Does the train line go all the way to Denovar?
Yeah, the train line seems to skirt just south of the city, and then it goes south of the lake, and then continues on into the leeward lands, likely to the imperial capital of Kinderholm. So
you could take the fucking train.
So, from Denovar, there is a castle in the swamp, and we believe it's west of Denovar, but it might be east of Denovar, but west from another location.
Do you know the castle's name?
In the swamp.
The castle in the swamp.
Yes.
Uh,
Also, this might not be... Is there any other Denovars that we should be aware of?
So, Barnabas, no, the city of Denovar is a major trade city. It is called the gateway to the Elsyr Vale. Most people who go to the Elsyr Vale never go anywhere beyond Denovar because they've got no need. Now, the problem with saying a castle in the Elsyr Vale, you know that people have been settling the Elsyr Vale even before the Settler Wars, and a lot of non-human races came to Volcanica because of the opportunity to settle. Plus, there were elves here. So elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, all of these goodly races came through the Songgate to settle in Elsyr Vale. And then the lands where Foundry were settled and founded, and and the area in the Elsyr Vale is full of holdings and castles and manors and places that they built for defense during a time when the Imperium didn't have such a strong hold over their lands on Volcanica. Wars have been fought in the Elsyr Vale. You need more than that. You're sure you could make a short list, but you're like you need some other clue to.
You're gonna have to give me more than that, friend. There's all sorts of construction in that area from the past. Any number of castles, forts.
Are there any locations of prominence in this area that would have the initials BR or DF? In terms of like non sequitur bits of like puzzle clues.
BR or DF.
Yes.
Perhaps you just want to give me the fucking name and I can help you.
If I knew the name, I would. I don't know the name.
Right,
I don't know the name.
Where did these initials come from?
A
Well,
book.
your mind is good at seeing patterns, especially linguistic ones. What is your linguistic score?
It is 33 with help from my familiar. It is 37 plus I can add the occasional inspiration.
All right, so you can't help but notice that piece of paper has the word foundry with an arrow leading to Hacksbridge with an arrow leading to Denovar with an arrow leading to BR with an arrow leading to DF to an arrow and then leading to Castle in the Swamp. You can't help but notice this little choo-choo train of information. This railroad of sorts.
Yeah. He just kind of looks at the piece of paper and goes, I can show him if you just hand me that piece of paper there.
Agony's clawed hand slams down the piece of paper and crinkles it as he grabs it forward.
All right, let's see what I can do without your little clues. Let's look at your map, shall we? Prove my worth. All right, here we've got. We'll get you up to Denovar. We know that much, so we can.
There's now like a rustling of something metallic, and now like a squishing of something metallic, like. And you turn over and you look at Slake, and he's like taking handfuls of iron nails and sticking them in his mouth and chewing, and while watching you guys.
That looks tasty. All right. So we get you to Denovar. Then after D, we've got a BH. That brings us to what's in the area. This is before the castle in the swamp. So the swamp is. I guess he's doing a knowledge geography. I'm guessing.
I mean, there's a swamp over here. So if I had to guess, it'd be the thing
It's
called
on the
swamp
way
on the map.
between here and here. So
It's somewhere in there, but I don't see any. There's nothing in the middle.
I think I left this one as in there's a swamp.
Right. That region is swamp region.
Yeah, it's
there's
like,
a building.
it could be a swamp over here, you know, like somewhere.
Yeah.
Swamp.
But
all right. There is it. What was it? BH? You said.
BR. BR.
Yeah.
Perhaps you have memory issues.
I drink a lot. You will find. Let's see.
Agony's sticking the clue paper into the book that he was possessive of, and he doesn't like what's going on here.
Yeah. There we go. Swamp.
No, the swamp is. You don't know where the swamp is.
I.
That was a figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
There.
So I'll just make a roll then, and we'll see what he knows. I'll just take 10.
So, El Cervelo is a place of 240,000 square miles. There are lots of swamps there.
No, he's looking for the. No, I still can't remember BH or BR.
So, Barty, Sunny thinks that he is like drawing a circle with his finger, and I'm going to use my little marker thing.
Yep.
Based on the other clues, there's a circle, something like this circle, and then a circle, something like this circle. So we should be looking for something in a circle like that, is his guess. Because the other steps along the way seem to have like equidistance, or give or take 60 miles. So it's give or take.
So within 60 miles to
Denovar. In this ring, and then we think west, although we don't know what the point is. We think it's west. Might be west of something else.
All right, so Barnabas is good at puzzles with his crazy linguistics. You want to give me a linguistics check? Yeah, sure, and I'll give you a hint.
All right.
It also could be a person. Big Regis.
I will get help from.
Okay, your little bird comes back and waddling.
Hi, Polly. We've got a little word game. Come see.
Words!
Nat 2062.
Holy shit, son.
Successfully got a clue.
Yeah,
We still have to solve the puzzle.
It might be west. Oh. How did you?
Sunny is looking at this one and looking at that one. Sunny's like, ooh.
Yeah, I don't have access to the note though.
The under correspondence and divinations, job offer to Barnabas.
Okay, thank you. Yep. Well, I think you will find your next clue is in Brindle.
It's not a person, it's a place, but it wasn't initials, it was just the beginning of the name.
Yeah.
It wasn't Brindle, it was Brindle.
Right.
And then DF would be this place here, the fairy place.
Hang on, I gotta switch to the map. Brindle, yeah, probably Drin's Ferry, yeah. Leading in a westerly direction.
Interesting. Why are you here?
Oh, there we go. We're back.
And we're back. Alright, so I've got a job offer. It seems the fates have aligned. Allow me to read it. Dear Mr. Darby and his brave fellows, now you would be taking the place of the brave fellows in question in this particular endeavour. News of your bravery in the face of the abyssal scourge beneath Founders College, yeah, that was it, has come to our attention. You got a recommendation from both Professor, and the Headmaster. Yeah, I'm very popular with them. I write to you with an offer of gainful employment, perhaps future patronage. We are looking for the right sort of scholar with adventuring spirit to unravel ancient mystery, try to find what was... Anyway, he wants to pay us to fucking find shit, right?
Why did you skip over the ancient... What is the ancient mystery?
Oh, forgive
Why are
me.
you... What is the
Forgive
ancient mystery?
me, it's better scholar, right? Yeah... Right sort of scholar with adventuring spirit to unravel an ancient mystery, to find what was lost and share in the wonders and treasures of their rediscovery. As you are well aware, Volcanico is a dangerous place, but we are confident that you and your brave fellows, again, you, are more than up to the task that lay ahead. This spring, I may be found at the Prospectors Guild in Brindle, Elsevier. We shall talk terms and details upon your arrival.
So,
Platinum Shines, Guildmaster Claygor Verak. I'm assuming I spelled that right. Or is Verak?
Sure.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
so you're saying that you have no idea what the ancient mystery is?
Well, no,
Wait.
Yeah.
So you don't have a job for us, this other guy does.
Yeah, but they specifically want me.
Alright, then...
Addressed to me.
Wait, you're kind of smart, aren't you? People... you.
Barnabas gets in his face and pokes him back. I'm the smartest person you have ever fucking met, and it does nothing to Slake.
Slake, don't break our geographer. We need a geographer.
Yeah, we need a geographer to find... Like, he's now pointing his finger at Sunny. We now need a geographer to find out where all the forts are. Because there's a wizard in that fort, and the wizard needs to... He's just got some metal bar in his hand from, like, the detritus of the building. He's just bending it over his knee. Wizard needs to die.
What wizard is that?
We're not sure yet. When we find the right one.
Oh, no. Lord Archibald Riance of Fort Dunquist.
Knowledge Arcana? Do I know this guy?
Sure.
I will... Oh. I'm on... Oh, okay. Mark, you suck at this game.
This conversation is going to end with Slake going, "You work for me now." Mush.
And Barnabas going, "I'm fine if that's what you think." Okay. Knowledge. Arcana? Yeah, plus 37. So I will take 10 polyauto aids. That gives me a 51.
Yeah, the Rience family is Imperial aristocracy.
So they are like Imperial nobles?
Imperial nobles.
You do realize
There are too many Archibalds to know exactly which one, and there's probably a design around that. Like, as in,
Yeah.
I'm Archibald
Yeah,
the 15th, you know? Like they love the name Archibald.
Okay.
You know that the ones locally, that the Archibalds have made themselves wealthy to the Imperium. They take Imperial contracts to guard and to provide magical support to the military. Types of assholes that you punch them and the Imperium punches back.
Yeah.
What if we're really sneaky and punch them from behind?
Fort Dunquist, you're like, oh, that just sounds like a really remote northern one. You would need to go find a really good military map for that. This is not like it's not like the fort where all the troops are. It's some remote outpost somewhere.
Stationed in Antarctica.
You got stationed there for screwing up.
Or if they're wizards.
They're doing
Yeah,
experiments.
they're experiments.
The soldiers who get stationed there for screwing up.
Yes.
The wizards are the king of the crazy castle.
Yeah, Slake is an idiot. Yeah, Nighthorn's correct.
Does this Archibald guy wear clogs? Because we've got a history with people who wear clogs.
But he is turning this metal bar into a pretzel.
As impressive as that is, you do realize the man you're looking for is actual, honest to goodness, not like the syndicate way, an actual noble. Imperial noble.
So
That's gonna make our revenge a lot sweeter. Nothing more.
Yeah, what it means is you don't get the last punch in, they do. Every fucking time.
It's a bit more complicated than that, but thanks for the advice.
Right. As for Fort Dunquist, sounds like need a proper military, Matt. Sounds
Are
like
we
something-
waiting for the Fae before we go on our journey?
Sunny.
Hmm?
We'll find them later.
All right. We should leave them a note.
Yeah, here's a piece of paper.
Slake just tosses the so you know where this place is, huh?
Fort Dunquist now, you need to find a proper military map. It sounds remote. It's not one of the main forts, that's for certain.
All right.
So it's not in the Foundry Elsia Vale region?
Fort Dunquist now.
So he's like pointing at the map, and then he's like taking his finger off the map, and he's like,
There's a massive swath of land that goes along the mountain ranges all the way up to the land of permanent ice, and it's somewhere between Elsier Vale and the permanent ice.
So it starts with like, is it here? It's like, no, and it's here, no, and then it's like his arms
You're
fully
like-
outreached, and it's like,
The types of places that the Imperium has conquered and probably let just sort of like wild over.
Yeah.
Wonder how many frost giant tribes will have to kill to get there. I will. So we leave in the morning.
Whoa. I said we can get there by train. Question is, can you lot take a fucking train?
I have legs and I can sit.
It's all well and good. Do you have papers?
Sonny, I think Sonny has papers saying he's an old man with no magical power.
Yep.
Sonny, somewhere.
Now
Cog, Slake, and Agony do. Give me a second. Agony has papers. He has identification.
Okay.
Cog does not. Slake does not, and Amadeus surprisingly does. As he was like a bounty hunter, so he has like proper identification. His identification had to be redone after his mutation. Because no one would believe you.
No one believes that.
We can put them in.
Aemon's not from here. He doesn't have papers either. He was summoned, but
Yeah.
But less than a season ago.
He's got very.
You're going to have
unfriendly
to
armor.
get you some papers. Proper papers. Can I see your papers, Sonny?
Sonny's like rummaging through the bottom of his scroll bag.
Yeah, Sonny has identification. Apparently, some basic residential
old man.
Yep.
Farmer.
He's not a citizen. He's a resident, but
that's fine. You can take the train with that.
No magical ability.
All right, we just have to figure out how we're going to bring you, Ironmein.
This group doesn't have papers, and then you're not too sure how you're going to, stick the bird in a cow train or something. But
yeah, does he need?
She'll travel in my pocket. Don't you?
The bird will travel in your pocket. All right, not one to talk. My bird travels on my skin, so.
That's quite disturbing.
Why do we need to take a train? Why can't we just walk there?
Well, because it would take a long time, and I'm not in the habit of wasting my time.
His legs are too weak.
Well, he's got regular legs.
Do you know how fast a train goes?
Yeah, we'll take a train.
Perhaps we can be cargo. With a marked dangerous. Do not open. Perhaps not the dangerous. Nice way to make questions.
Thing is, we got to load you. Is there papers, like ownership papers, that you've got to have for constructs? Or I'm assuming there are.
Yeah, there are. Like you can have if you're thinking as a professor. You're thinking like a professor. You could. There are papers to have dangerous magical beasts, and there are likely papers where you register household or tower guardians. There are papers for undead. Like at the heart of the Imperium is a group of noble families that worship and love magic. So there's a parliament of wizards that is a whole branch of the government. So yes, they have regulated constructs. You could go through that. Now you're looking at the two of them who've been hiding out here in this squalor, this derelict of a building, and they don't have ID.
Can I forge it?
It would be a linguistics check. You would have a bonus if you had some template to work from.
I seem to recall, now I don't know if Desaad took them, that we had in the party Imperial papers that had not been filled out. Now, it wasn't specific as to what kind of papers.
I think we had papers for Magical Beast, but we did a template. Like we had hippogriff papers. I know that for sure. I don't know what other papers. Oh
No, these were like you got them from the Undertown.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick search of our OneNote to see.
No,
these
I'm not
these
saying
would
that
be forgery, right? Forgery.
Yeah.
There's a masterwork forgery kit on Desaad. Papers, maybe?
I see the permits for the Class 6 Magical Beast.
Forms. They're on someone's character sheet. If you could have a look, Ahmed, and help out, see if they're on your.
It's not on COG.
It would be on Desaad.
Yeah. If they're
Yeah,
on
it's
Desaad, then we don't have access to them. It's fine.
Yeah, Desaad had all that.
Here, let's find it.
Confirm.
We're a few
Just
levels
gonna make sure
away from Windwalk. Just
Yeah,
being like, I just fly there.
Yeah.
Forgery kit.
No, but there was specifically like a big stack of papers, right?
Yeah.
I remember those two. I remember.
Various blank government forms and documents. 5,000 gold pieces.
Where is that?
Desaad.
Desaad has that?
Yep.
Well, you don't have them then.
Access to teleport.
No.
Yeah,
You don't?
he's got it in his gear carried.
Okay,
Alright.
Agony. When Agony mentioned when you mentioned that, Agony wanders over to where they've got some stuff hidden. I think Desaad has it.
Crap. It's all right. I'll figure it out. I can get you what you need. Be something that'll pass for it.
What do you mean? What I need?
What we need are papers, and you two. Well, unfortunately, you have to act like a construct, the typical one, which is just silent and do what you're told, at least in front of the guards.
Or the guards will miss some teeth.
Yeah, see, if they miss the teeth, you kind of give away the game.
Give
And then the rest
me
of
give me
Sure.
give me a diplomacy check. This is for your general introduction to see how well it goes. You could add 2 because you helped Sunny out, or like you help them out with their like
Yeah.
very simple code.
35. Can I get aid from Polly, who I don't know is
Sure, Polly's been nice and playing with Mistra, so you can get an aid with Polly.
plus 39. All right, and it is a linguistics check, so I will use my an inspiration point again. 59.
I suppose we can keep him. That one's a little disagreeable, but
Yeah, if that one give me any lip, he'll be missing his teeth. And he nudges Barnabas like he wants you to laugh along with the joke. Aemon does not look pleased.
And Barnabas puts a hand on Aemon's chest, like, don't do it.
Yeah, you could come with us. Slake looks at Agony, and Agony slightly shrugs. He's scritching the end of his what do you call it? The little dongle at the end of his chin. I forget the word now.
I want to say dewlap, but that might be the wrong.
Yeah.
thing. So if we wait for the train to stop, we could just hop on and then hop off. When
Yeah,
it
yeah,
gets to
it's
where we want
tried
to go.
not, especially these days, tend to be carrying a lot of troops. There tend to be security. Much simpler to just get tickets.
Yeah, get us tickets then.
Yeah, do what you need to do then, Mr. Moneybags.
All right, just I don't want there to be any misunderstanding. Cog, Slake, you will likely be categorized as cargo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very well aware of that.
All right then. He looks at Agony. This Guildmaster Clegor Farak is as rich as a king. Well, when there were kings.
Okay, Agony raises an eyebrow. He doesn't say anything, but he's looking at you.
There will be rewards.
And an ancient mystery.
Yes, and the reward of an ancient mystery solved. All right, I will come back with tickets as well as papers for the lot of you that need them.
Okay, you can feel that they want to have a discussion, but they're waiting for you to leave.
Oh, and
You could just sense the zero bluff characters. Agony's a bit more guarded, but fucking Slake has got no bluff.
Sunny doesn't have
Amadeus
to
ain't
either.
helping
Yeah,
me either.
it's like
so-
it's like okay, go. We need to talk.
When do you
Oh.
think you fucking leave?
Yeah. Oh, and when you want help breaking that code, I'm also very good at that as well.
We'll see about that.
We'll see what happens at the ferry.
Right.
Hopefully there's a big sign that says swamp. That way.
Okay. Barnabas will go back to the tower.
Okay. You
Kind of keeping an eye, seeing if he's being followed to the tower.
You can
Yeah, well-
follow that one.
for all you know, Dugan follows him. You realize the Fae aren't here, old man.
I don't.
They're coming back soon.
Yeah, in 10 years.
Oh, we should leave a note.
I think when you resurrected Mistra, you gave her your brains.
Who is a good Mistra? Good Mistra. She doesn't like apples very much anymore.
she scurries off and continues to fill her gizzard full of stones. It's good for a digest.
Barnabas will head home and try and forge some documents, I guess.
Okay, yeah, give
He
me...
does have a masterwork forgery kit.
So you're going to forge a document that describes Cog and Slake as what? Given that they're...
No, they not as cargo, but as property, like licensed.
As licensed constructs.
Yes.
Who owns them?
We are going to say that Sunny owns them.
Okay, and for what...
Oh, wait. Can a resident own a construct?
They can, but a resident with no magical powers that has 2 magical constructs will look very suspicious. Also, a resident with that stuff.
All right.
Really, the only person in that group that is a citizen is you, and I believe Amadeus.
Amadeus. Yeah, no one's going to believe Amadeus owns those things. All right, I guess Barnabas is going to be the owner.
When the conversation comes up with Barnabas, you belong to me now. See, I've got the paperwork and everything. That conversation will be like a funny one. Also, you're the only one who can lie and say, yeah, they're mine.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Although when... so Amadeus originally was a citizen. I think his papers currently have him as a resident because that was the easiest way for him to...
I think he's got forgeries as his...
Yeah, Wilfred Mr. Lumpy or whatever is is a resident. You may want to make that distinction. You still have your original license, though. Like, you still have your original papers as Amadeus von Arrington, Ayrton. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Ayrton, yeah.
Yeah. So, Barnabas, you're like, the only person that makes sense is you.
All right. He doesn't actually want to be the owner of the psychos.
Don't worry, you'll be on the hook for everything they murdered.
Yep.
Or you'll be on the hook for forged
All right.
paperwork.
There is, you know that they need to have a slated purpose. And the purpose is a single word, or like a single descriptive word. It could be service, it could be protection, it could be...
Cog will be service.
Yep.
And Slake will be protection.
Okay.
Because, of course.
All right, give me... All right, you should, on your character sheet, write down those details. That, you've got forged ownership papers of constructs, one for Cog, one for Slake.
I will technically be keeping those one.
So we got a battle droid and a protocol droid.
Effectively.
Okay, we don't have any astro droids here. Okay, that's fine.
And then I need a roll for each of these pages to see how good the forge is.
How drunk are you by the time you get to this particular part of the evening?
All right. So for Slake, I've got inspiration points left. So 35. Polly can help, but I don't know if she's just. Oh, you missed a spot.
Yeah, sure. She's helping out. Yeah.
+1.
It's like the bird editors, apparently.
Yeah.
Birds are great editors.
So Slake's is 56.
Nice. You are happy with the work as you spread some salt over the drying ink.
Okay, I'm just gonna type that in here. Oh.
And mush up a little bit of like tea with a bit of dirt from outside to kind of seep into the pages to make them old. Crinkle them up and, crease them a bunch of times and
Like they've been in a drawer for years.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, and Cog's papers. Nine plus 1d6. 63.
Okay.
Oh, not 20. Yeah.
That's pretty good papers.
It's pretty good.
If you don't mind me asking, Barnabas, it might be useful if I had papers as well.
Yours will be coming in a moment.
Wait your turn.
You are lucky you have a use bird.
You keep spending power. It's pretty funny, the little relationship there, because you keep investing in the familiar, and it's like, fuck your bird.
Fuck you, bird. God, I hate it. And the identification papers as a resident for Aemon Woe.
Yep.
48.
All right, mark those down on Eamon's sheet. He takes his papers and he seems to be happy with them. Fox is an excellent point. Anyone who could see through that forgery would have better things to do.
Checking papers, yeah.
I go, you're not a construct. Not a construct. That's a living construct.
Okay, Barnabas spends time late into the evening. He ends up falling asleep at the desk with a bottle of whiskey, after finishing the papers. Waking you up in the morning is not Chaga's pot of coffee or the smell of cooking from the kitchen, but Polly nibbling on your ear.
Wake up.
Oh, fuck. All right, yep. Oh, I'm getting up. Oh, what time is it?
Late in the morning, says Aemon.
All right, I'm getting up. Gonna make some breakfast, make some coffee. Fuck, I miss Chaga. He goes downstairs and cooks himself some breakfast.
Okay, Aemon just kind of, you can feel it's like he's your shadow. He's just following you around. He's already in his armor.
Yeah, you want some eggs, bacon, got some ham.
I've already eaten.
You should wait for me to cook. I'm much better cook than you.
There's a smile, but it's not a friendly one.
You got him from hell. Don't expect too much.
I'm not expecting my best friend here, no.
Do you trust those people?
No, not entirely. All I know. They'll fucking kill me and take all my things.
Over my dead body.
Well, that's likely how it will happen, yeah.
You plan.
However, given that I got out of there yesterday, a bit more trust has been earned.
I might not be able to take all of them, but I could slow them down. Do you have spells that allow you to whisk yourself and possibly me away?
I can fly. That's it, mate. Smartest bastard you'll ever meet, but I ain't no fucking archmage.
You should try to learn the one where you teleport a short distance.
Well, I will keep that in mind.
Okay, he nods. This was not like him making fun of your power. This is him making a suggestion.
All right, let's go get tickets. Oh, well, yeah, I'll stop by the. It's got to stop by the mill.
Yep.
It's got to get the other paperwork to.
You stop by the mill. It looks like the group is packing things up and loading things down. What are you doing with your library?
He's leaving it locked up at the tower.
Looks,
I left.
looks like there's
leaving...
few enough books in the Steelrose mill that you could just take them with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're taking them. We're taking it with us.
He's going to take the Dark Grimoire. Those books. To give him a +4.
Okay.
We're going to protect the dragon manuals, as well as our code book with Book Ward. I'm just going to tick off that spell, and each casting lasts for 9 days. So.
Okay. Could you mark that and highlight it somehow next to the book?
Okay.
The book is listed in the Steelrose Mill library.
Okay.
And then Mark, Barnabas, do you have like a bag of holding or something?
He's got his hat, and I thought I had a bag of holding. Apparently, I do not. I will have to buy one, apparently.
Yeah, the 12 volumes of Hallmark's library starts to make this unwieldy. The Belafont's personal library of 30 profane books.
That's not coming with me.
Okay.
I'll have to stay behind. I am. I noticed you made a list of Barnabas's fellows.
Yes, you have influence in the Arcane College, specifically the Annex, to the point where you have a number of charismatic students, lab assistants, and scholarly students that follow you. There is also a cousin that's been hanging around. His name is Pietro Minkov.
From my mother's side, the gypsy side. Yeah, he's going to get his cousin to stay at the tower and watch the place.
Okay, there's also Scholar Glenn that you trust. Scholar Glenn is your main research partner at the Annex. He handled a lot of the organizational tasks, writing of treaties, papers, and correspondences based off of your ideas and your research. He was the workhorse to your brilliance, basically. As such, he's second author on many Barnabas's works.
Yes.
So this is a man that you would also trust with your ideas.
With the library. Yeah. And he can also stay there.
Okay.
He's not commanding him to. His cousin is like, you're fucking lazy. Make something of your life. At least look after my fucking tower.
Okay. He's willing to do so. With promises of teaching him more sorcery. he's willing to do what you want. And then Scholar Glenn, when you say, hey, there's a library over there, he's like, I will catalog it right away.
The master bedroom is locked up, and if he has, well, can we just say my cousin has an arcane lock spell?
Sorcerer? Sure. He can lock things for you.
Good. And that's why I wanted him there.
All right. Pietro and Glenn, you're sure will drive each other nuts as they have different personalities, but the tower is not a small
And that
place.
just makes him giggle.
As for where did Tarp go? Tarp, he didn't return after the violence in the tower. You're not sure where that kobold has gone. Yeah. His spellbooks are missing. You suspect that he escaped or fled when daemons were crawling around your tower. I'm calling it your tower because the Lich Bellefonte is dead, his phylactery destroyed, and you're the only one who seems to care about the tower.
Barnabas loves the tower. This is like where he's going to retire. Well, it's the gate to where he's going to retire, wherever that may be.
Got it. Barnabas returns by noon the next day to the Steelrose Mill warehouse. It appears he's got some documents and papers in hand. So you don't see Mistra for some reason. Polly actually goes flying around looking for Mistra, but I think returns to Barnabas.
Here's Polly over. Pulls out like a little statuette of a bird.
Mistra?
Don't worry, she's here. She's here.
Mistra?
Yeah, it's a statue now for now. Relax. All right, I've got the paperwork. I'm going to need to look at yours, though, to get the tickets. Now, before I go, I just want to make sure, to the best of your knowledge, those of you with papers, are not wanted for any crimes.
Give me some motive.
Here's got a deal breaker right there.
Got a 51.
There's a squirm from agony as he shifts his posture and looks away.
And what? Are you wanted for something?
I'm not sure, actually. We
borrowed something from the temple, that's all.
We also killed quite a few people at that temple.
Self-defense.
That was self-defense indeed. It was.
Does the temple know where you are?
Yes. At
All
least
right.
those that tried to lure us there to our deaths did.
I am fairly confident that, for whatever reason, they have not called the authorities, otherwise they would have come and found you.
Agony shrugs, but you've got him
So he's
thinking.
like, there wasn't a lot of visitors that one day.
Agony smiles a grim smile, his lips pulling back a rows of teeth. You don't know if it's a grimace or a smile. But...
Kind of hard to tell, to keep track of who's where, who's what, really. So.
Yeah, so what? Let's go to the train yards already. You got me thinking about trains.
I'm with Slake. Let's get going.
Sunny is leaving a note in Dugan's hiding spot and Dee Dee's bucket,
Okay.
indicating that we're off to find treasure and ancient mysteries of old, and we're on our way to Denovar, and then Brindle, and then Darrow's Ferry, and then I'll leave a note along the way. Come find us when you get back from.
All right. So you leave your notes. Sonny, give me an int check. This is after you've left your notes in the hard to reach places.
20.
You remember identifying an item that Cog carries that you think allows you to communicate with one Dugan Schmurf from afar. Am I right? Like, is there an item that you guys have? Isn't it?
Yeah, we have a stone of ascending
We have,
stone.
we have a standing stone.
Yeah.
So he's. Kong, do you have the stone thingy?
Oh, you remembered that? Yes, I do.
Okay, we're going to let the boys know, let the fairies know that we're off to Donovan, or we're off to Denovar. We're taking the train to Denovar with the geographer.
We'll have to wait, actually.
What?
I've already used it today. I just, we chat every other day. Today was one of those.
Okay, so I've got on one of Capra sheets the sending stone. I assume that's in.
I think it's actually on Capra because he was like the sergeant.
Okay, and then I've also got it on Dugan's.
Okay, so then take it off of Capra.
No, sorry. No.
Dugan has a sending spell.
Oh, Dugan's got a scroll. Okay, and then I don't see the other one. It's not mentioned on COG. So could you add that to your character sheet?
Oh, don't lose the other half. Don't lose the other half of the bad phone. We need that.
No, we switched them for a mission that we were doing, but then everyone took it back at the end.
So you can copy the write up is really nice on Capra's sheet.
I'm grabbing it.
I need to take a quick break, guys. I just gotta go to the washroom.
That's fine. So when is it Cog or Sunny that sends Dugan a note to let them know where you're out to?
Sunny asked for the thing. Cog, are you sending it? Did you send a sending or no? Because you're saying you sent a sending. I don't know if you're just being a dig. You know,
like, hey, how's it going? You do that daily. Hey, we're going good. I'm still, whatever.
All right, so
send it today or tomorrow.
Capra are going to move the stone back to Dugan's sheet because Dugan's holding on to it because Dugan's really interested in what the treasure hunting guys are doing, and all you get back is a bunch of swears about how you guys are trying to screw him out of treasure and all the hard work we're doing down here and how he's becoming a general and you better set aside his share or else. It's just a bunch of like expletives and Dugan is not happy.
Sunny hands the stone back to Cog.
They're not having a good time. There's nothing like we're dying or anything. It's just Dugan's not pleased.
Just Sunny, here you go. It's yours now.
All right, so yeah, manage where those things are because they may be important in the future.
Yeah, especially get separated.
All right, I've already taken the northern treasure and gear and divided it between the several groups, but there will be like some stuff I think that is coming from Barnabas versus coming from others. Yeah, I've got two groups of consumables you could see there. Eventually, I imagine this will become just one big pot of stuff. But you have a significant amount of like consumables, diamonds, magic inks, incense, silver dust, alchemical components, spell components, onyx. I assume all of that stuff is coming with you.
Yeah, we're bringing you all that stuff comes with us.
All right. So you spend some time packing up things and as a group head to the train station. At this point, I'm going to copy the...
Going to take the train. Magical transportation would be preferred, but...
Yeah, fuck that. This is like...
It's the middle ground, I suppose. So, would you walk through a magical spell to move across the land?
I mean, not if I had a choice.
But if you didn't have the choice...
Well, let's say you were asleep on a cot, for example, and someone happened to push you through.
Look at Mr. T Slake across the ocean. cast freaking teleport on him while he's sleeping, so he can't say no. Have to get through his SR is the problem.
It's a problem.